Hey guys, good evening. This is Adrian. I'll be the trainer for all of y'all today. I welcome you all for this presentation of BW and BW on HANA. So let me introduce about myself, and then slowly we can, introduce each other and your expectations from the training. Probably a little brief about where you're coming from, as in what is your current profession, your qualification, and if you feel whether BW is suits you or not. So now I have around 10 years of experience. I've done my master's information management from University of Wales, Lampeter, UK. I've worked in different domains, not precisely IT as such, but I've come up from hospitality industry, and then I moved on to real estate, and then I moved on to the IT part as a business analyst, and from there on, I got an opportunity to work as a support consultant in BW. That was an internal growth, and then thereon, I never looked back. So I liked SAP so much, and specifically, I liked BW so much that I never wanted to go to any other field as such, and I continued working. So with BW, or rather I should say, in SAP, I have now around, say, 7 years of experience, hardcore experience, and overall I have 10 years of experience. So I have worked in various modules. I've worked as a BW support consultant, also as a modeler. Apart from BW, I've worked in sales and distribution and material management, and also on APO, advanced planning and optimization. I've got sound knowledge on both SD and MM. So those are my strong areas because I can understand any business that falls under these two domains. Yeah, so more or less about me. I've worked with various clients. Like lately, I worked with Jindal, and then as of now, what I'm doing currently is I'm a freelance consultant. I'm a corporate trainer by profession now, and I take independent projects. I have various clients in Bangalore, in Mumbai, and a couple of them from US. And I take freelance project work from them through, I've got many contacts now. So yeah, that's what I do. I do consulting for the firms with the reports, and I do online training, and I'm into online training since 5 years now. And I've trained over 200 plus candidates, and I'm pretty sure most of them are happy. Yeah, so that's about me. How about if you guys could just, explain a little bit about yourself and why you have decided to attend this demo? Anyone would like to start?
Yeah, yes, Adrian. So I'm Bipin here.
Yeah, hi, Bipin.
Can you hear me? Yeah, good evening. So, Adrian, like I have a total of 4 years of experience in IT, and currently I'm working in Wipro technology, and I'm into data warehousing. Like I'm using SSIS tool from last 2 years, and now my application is getting migrated into SAP platform using BABW. So I would like to learn this technology since in moving forward I need to support this application, as well as some development work will also come to me for in SAP BABW part.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Bipin. Anyone else would like to share about their, reason? Akash, Hemant, John, Sagar.
Hi again, this is John Wesley.
Hi, John. Good evening.
Good evening. Uh, So currently I'm working in Wipro Technologies, Hyderabad. Currently I'm a FSCO consultant, and I've been into SAP from last 4 years. Currently I'm working on contract accounting projects.
Okay, okay. And the reason you have chosen BW is?
In contract accounting, we have a lot of transactions. So I thought of going to BW to get some knowledge on a data warehouse, how to maintain all the data which comes into the large volumes of the utility transactions.
Okay, 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 great. So you're saying that you have an opportunity to explore BW within your organization.
Not into the new organization. Actually, some of the colleagues are already working in BW. So,
Hmm.
in terms of backup, I need to learn BW and I need to help the seniors in terms of maintaining the data.
Okay, okay, that's good. Not a, all right.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, John.
Hi Adrian, I'm Hemant. I'm from Andhra Pradesh. I'm
Yeah,
currently
hi, Hemant. Good evening.
I'm working in HCL as a contract employee.
Okay.
Right now I'm in the project of BW only. So I want to learn BW. I want to become consultant in BW.
Okay. That's good. Thank you. Okay. Akash, how about you? You're not audible, Akash. I'm a fresher, 4 to 5 years experience as network engineer. Okay. All right. Fresher to SAP. All right. Okay, cool. So I'm going to start up now. Okay, just 1 second. Okay. So for the sake of everyone, I'm going to explain SAP. So kindly mute everyone, mute yourself because this will give a lot of disturbance. So if anyone has any doubt, they can put it in the chat box or we can wait for the later period. Okay. Now, to start with, let's take an example. Okay. Let's say we're talking about a company called as XYZ. Okay. XYZ is a company which is into, let's say, manufacturing of bikes. Okay. Now, a customer from ABC company wants 50 bikes. Okay. Wants 50 bikes to be delivered within 3 months. Okay. They want 50 bikes to be delivered from 3 months. Now, XYZ company is running on, okay, let's not talk about technology as of now. Let's say that XYZ company has been approached with a customer with the requirement of 50 bikes and with the condition that it has to be delivered within 3 months of time. So when a customer walks in into your office or into your shop, whom do you think they will interact first? they're going to start interacting first with the sales team. Yeah, they're going to first start interacting with the sales team, and the sales team is going to take down the requirements. Yeah, the sales team will take down the requirement of the client. So now, sales team, of course, will have to give him some closure whether his requirement can be fulfilled within that duration or not. Not many warehouses will have 50 bikes of one model. They may have 10 bikes, 15 bikes. Okay, let's assume that the warehouse guy has 30 bikes ready to deliver. 20 bikes are not available. Okay, they're not available. So what the sales team does, it interacts with the guys who are responsible of warehouse. Okay, so the sales team is now going to talk to a warehouse guy. So what conversation are they going to have? They're going to say, boss, do we have 20 bikes available, or can we manufacture these 20 bikes within 3 months time? So the warehouse guys will have to determine whether they have enough material to manufacture 20 bikes. So let's assume that before the warehouse guys or the guys who are responsible of manufacturing, they give a word to the sales team so that the sales team can give the word to the customer team. Before all this confirmation happens, the warehouse guy will first ensure if he has a raw material or not. Now, if he doesn't have a raw material, then he has to get the raw material from the vendor. He has to get the raw material from the vendor, correct? Of course, the moment you deal with vendor, you're talking about finance, right? Because no vendor will do business without payment. So the finance team has to be acknowledged. They have to be made aware of what's happening in the business, and the finance team will be responsible of making the payment to the vendor. Now let's assume that vendor has delivered the raw material requested by you to the warehouse. Okay, the material has reached the warehouse, and now the production team, okay, they are responsible of manufacturing the raw material. They're responsible of manufacturing the bikes using the raw materials made available to them, right? Now, you require people to work to make a bike, right? So there is a lot of dependency on human resource. If you are short of human resource, if you're short of people, you're going to take them, you're going to hire them from an external vendor on a premium rate because you don't have backup employees or workers or laborers. So production team, depending on the nature of work they have, they're going to request additional manpower. Okay, and then let's say with all the manpower, the product has been made ready. The warehouse now has the data, they have the material, okay, and the sales team is now able to deliver the product to the customer, okay, on the promised date. So the payment then is taken by the customer and which is handled with the finance team. Is everyone following what's happening here?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I just look at this, these lines, they're very chaotic. Imagine you are the boss of this company and you want to know what's happening with the sales team. The sales team will have no idea what's happening with the bikes, okay, about the 20 bikes, because you don't know or you don't have clear information whether we have the raw materials or not, whether the finance team has passed the invoice or not, whether the bikes are being ready or not, whether do we have enough manpower or not. The sales team will have no idea about it. Similarly, everyone will be completely unaware of what's happening with the other end. So as a boss, it's going to be very difficult for you to have a centralized access to the information. Okay, so this is called a decentralized system. This is called a decentralized system. And so SAP came up with an idea of centralizing all these independent entities of a business, and therefore they introduced SAP R3, which is also called as SAP ECC. Okay, ECC stands for Enterprise Central Component. Now remember, SAP is an ERP tool, okay, or ERP system. Okay, its main role when it started off was to centralize the entire business process, to organize it, to make a sequence out of the decentralized mechanism. And therefore they launched, or they came up with SAP R3. Now SAP R3 comprises of various modules, namely sales and distribution, material management, finance and controlling, human resource, production planning, quality management, etc., etc., etc. So you have various functional modules. Now what you see here on the screen, each of them okay. Now what you see on the screen, each of them is or can be categorized into various modules. So anything to do with sales, you have SD module for that. And anything to do with inventory or warehouse management, you have MM module for that. For finance related work, you have FICO module for that. Can't identify the word. Is everyone able to see my screen clearly?
Yes, Adrian.
Okay. So, okay, no, Akash was saying that fonts are not clear. All right. So we have SD module, MM module, we have FICO. Of course, vendor is an entity which is required by warehouse guys. So vendor details will be stored under MM module. Production team can be classified under production planning module. For human resource, you have HR module. Okay, and for many other things, you have different modules. Now, all of these modules, okay, where do they store data? All of these modules, where do they store data? The data is stored in tables. Okay, how is it stored? It is stored via a T code. What is a T code? T code stands for transaction code. Okay. Now, if a sales guy has to create sales consultant has to create a sales order document. Okay. So in ECC, he's going to use the T code VA01. Okay, this is what a T code looks like. VA01. So VA01 will open up a sales order document wherein he will enter all the details about the customer, who the customer is, where the material has to be shipped, about the date of the creation, document creation, quantities of materials order, what is the rate, etc., etc. So all of that information will be added over here. So what happens is the records that is added through a transaction, each transaction is linked to a database table. Okay, each transaction is linked to a database tables. Okay, so now imagine a company like Tata, Tata Steels. Yeah, they're going to have crores and crores of records that is being stored in these and many like these tables. Now, what I'm trying to say is you have ocean of information. Okay, you have ocean of information available, and you want to make critical business decision. Okay, based on the records that is being accumulated in your ECC. So when you want to work with such a large amount of data, and plus, of course, you do decision when you have a report, when you have a complete drill down report. Okay, so when you have a report, right? In order to write a report, you require a tool. That understands and can be adapted to any business. Okay, any business tool that can act as a data warehouse, an analytical tool, and a reporting tool. Okay, tool that can automate the process starting from extracting the data and publishing reports on daily basis. Okay, so I'm talking about SAP BW, also known as SAP BI. BW stands for Business Warehouse, Business Intelligence. Okay, we have various versions of these. So let's say the the most frequently used version before what we are running now, it all started by 3.5. You have even older versions, but I'll start with 3.5. Then they came up with 7.0. Then they bought in 7.3. So this came up sometime in the year of 2013, and it was at that year that they introduced HANA as well. And in the year of 2013, BW on HANA was the first module that was integrated with HANA database. And then the most used version as of now is 7.4, and we also have 7.5. Okay, so we'll be working most of the time on 7.3 or 7.4. Not much of changes are there because everything seems to be exactly the same. Almost 95% of the things are the same. Maybe here and there some options they tweaked, which I'm yet to explore. And I haven't found any significant changes that I should be concerned about. Okay, so what is a BW? BW is a special software, okay, that allows you to group together, format really large amount of business data into an enterprise data warehouse system, okay, which is your BW. So it does many things like extraction. It has a tool within itself called as ETL. Okay, ETL stands for extraction, transformation, and loading. Okay, so this allows you to extract data from many source systems. Okay, you can extract data from a flat file, also known as Excel file. You can extract data from SAP ECC, the current version for ECC 6.0. Okay, you can extract data from HANA, which is a different topic altogether. You can extract data from other non-SAP database system, SQL, Oracle database system, or Sun Solaris, etc., etc. Okay, so your BW can be used on any source system. Okay, but BW is used extensively for ECC and for HANA. So we are going to work on flat file and on ECC to start with, and those who have decided to go for BW and HANA, this is the later part that we'll be studying about HANA database. Follow so far? Okay, so we just spoke about ETL as a tool that allows us to extract data from various source systems. Yeah. Apart from ETL, it has a tool or a software okay, that allows SAP BWBI to analyze the data which is important for all decision making in the company. Okay, what is that tool called as? It is called as Business Explorer. Okay, so Business Explorer is a business suite, okay, which consists of the two most important tools called as Query Designer and Query Analyzer. So using these tools, we are going to learn on how to create queries and how to publish reports. So ETL does the job of extraction, and Business Explorer does the job of running queries and publishing reports. Then you have another tool called as Process Chain. Now, Process Chain is a tool that allows you to automate the entire ETL and reporting process. Okay, this is the most important topic, one of the most important topic, because if you're not working as a developer, you'll be working as a support consultant, and as a support consultant, you must know how to use Process Chain. And when you know how to use Process Chain, you will also understand ETL on a whole new level. Okay, so what BW does, it optimizes business processes. It helps an organization to act faster, to be more flexible, and to adapt to the market as per the given requirement. Okay, are we clear so far? Does anyone have any questions until this? If anyone has, they can ask. Yes. Sagar, are you there? Can you hear me? I haven't heard from you yet.
Adrian?
Yes, John?
Adrian, can you explain once again Business Explorer?
Right. Let me directly take you to this system. So this is your remote desktop, all right? And we're going to log on. This is your SAP Launchpad. Log on button, sorry. So it's running on SAP NetWeaver. NetWeaver is a platform on which your SAP is running, the presentation layer. This is your SAP BI system. Double click on it. You'll be given a username, password. Use that. Now, as I said, you work with transaction codes in system, right? So this is your BI system. The T code to access the warehousing page is RSA1. Okay, just enter RSA1. Now, what you see here on the screen, they're all staging areas. Okay, they're all staging areas. They are more or less like folders in your computer. Each folder, you can have a folder within folder. Yeah. Now, on each folder, you can create objects. What are these? These are all objects. Now, why do we require objects? Because BW is a data warehouse tool. Yeah. What is a BW system? BW system is a data warehousing tool. That means SAP BW has objects. Objects can also be called as tables. Okay. Objects are also called as tables. So tables or objects are used as a data target. Okay. So how is it used as a data target? Records or data from the source system. Okay, source system means the system from where you're fetching the data. Okay, records from the source system is stored in BW objects. Okay, that means we create a data target, the source system. Okay, for example, if I have a table like this, customer ID, customer name, and customer age. So this is a table which is in my source system. Yeah, I have data like these. Let's say I have data as 1001. Okay, name is Sunny, age is 25. I have Bunny, age is 28. Now let's say this is the record which is in the Excel file, flat file. This is it. This is my source system. Okay, what is my source system? Source system is a desktop. Okay, now what I want is I want this data to enter into my BW system. I want this data to enter into my BW system. So before I enter the records into my BW system, I have to first create an object. Okay, I have to create an object. Each field is known as info object. Each field is known as info object. Okay, so I'm going to start first by creating info object. All right. So once I have my info object ready, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another object. These are all my info objects, yeah? How does info object look like? Okay, hang on here. Okay, are you guys able to see my screen? Uh, can you see data warehousing workbench modeling? Okay. Now, if you go to info objects, you see these are all fields, yeah? Now they're called as info objects. They're all fields. Fields are nothing but container where the records are stored. Now, after you create these fields, we need to keep this field in a particular structure. After we create info objects, we need to place this info object in a particular structure. So we have ready-made tables or SAP defined objects like data store object, info cubes, etc., etc. Okay. Now data store object, let's assume the data store object is an empty structure. Okay, it has nothing within it. It is an empty structure. So what I'm going to do is, when I create a DSO, I'm going to take this field and enter it into the DSO. So what happened right now is, oops. So what I just did now is I created a table in my BW system which looks exactly same as a flat file on customer. So now I have a table that looks exactly as my source table. Now I want to pull these records. Yeah, I want to pull these records and bring them into BW system. So if I want to pull these records, I'm going to go for ETL. Okay, I'm going to go for ETL. So when I start extraction, what's going to happen? The records are going to come from the source to the target. Okay, before that happens, we have to do something called as transformation. What is transformation? Transformation is nothing but mapping. So I want to map customer ID to the customer ID. Okay, I will map customer name to customer name. And I'm going to map customer age to customer, or that's name here. Okay, change that. Now, why did I do this? The reason is when you try to load the data, from the source to the target, you want to ensure that whatever records that falls under customer ID should come under customer ID in your BW system. Whatever falls under customer name should come under customer name. Whatever falls under customer age should come under customer age. Did we follow so far? How about others? John, Thomas, Sagar. I hope you guys are able to hear me. Yeah, okay. Like a prompt answer would help us move forward because it's always better to know if you're following or not. Yeah. Right. Now, someone asked me the question on Business Explorer, right? Now, Business Explorer is a suite which is integrated with BI system that consists of two primary tools called as Query Designer and Query Analyzer. So if I want to design a query, I'm going to use Query Designer. Okay, Query Designer is big. In order to run queries, we need target, we need data. Okay, only once we have the target and we have records into it, then we can use Query Designer. Okay, to design queries. Now, what is queries? Queries are the reporting requirement given to us by the clients. Okay, basically what he wants is he wants reports. In order to run reports, we need to develop queries. The reports can be sales analysis report, daily sales report, material stock report. Okay, then we have EBITDA report, earning before interest, taxation, amortization. We have customer reports on customer. We will have reports on vendors. Okay, now this is specifically talking about sales and MM. If you talk about HR, you will have personal performance report. Okay, you can have retention report, etc., etc. So what happens is when the client is asking you for this report, he's going to tell you conditions. He's going to give you conditions. Condition means he wants the report. He wants the report based on or based from a particular date, place, material, customer, vendor, designation, etc., etc. All right. So he's going to tell you that I want the records to be extracted from the 1st of Jan till date, and I want only that particular materials to be part of my report. I don't want that region. Okay, I don't want the north region, I just want the south region. So you have to give me a report which is specific to south region, which is specific to a material, which is specific to a date. So now he's giving you a lot of instructions. Okay, and for us to fulfill his expectation, we have to design queries as such, and which allows us to, or rather which Query Designer is a tool that allows us to do so. Are you guys following? So how does that Query Designer look like? So let's have a look. So this is your basically info objects, okay? And if you right click when you're on the info provider, these are all your data targets, okay? So you run reports on these data targets, okay? You run reports on these data targets. So how does this system looks like? You know, how does the data flow looks like? Let me show you things which my students have created. All right, let's take this for an example. Display data flow, yeah? All right, so what you see here, what you see here is a source system, okay? This is your ECC source system. From ECC source system, we have replicated a table which deals with EKPO. EKPO is a database table, which generally deals with purchase order, okay, which is MM related. So we have created a table in ECC, which I will show you how it looks like. See, this is how the table looks like. This is coming from ECC, and this it consists of fields, right? They're all the fields. Okay, so this is coming from your source system. Now let's move ahead. All right, let's go back to the data flow. Then what I've done is, since we have the data source here, we have created a data target. So this is your DSO. Yeah, double click on this DSO. DSO stands for data store object. And if I drill down the key fields and the data fields, you will find, see, these are info objects. Yeah, these are info objects. So based on what we saw in the data source, based on the fields present on the data source, we have created a DSO, and we have filled the DSO with the relevant objects. Okay, so now we have the data target ready, and we have the data source ready. Now we want to connect both these tables. So we go for transformation. So when you right click on the data source table, you get to see this option, transformation. How does the transformation look like? Just, let us go back to the data flow. It's clearer that way. You see, there is something that connects both the table, the green color symbol over here. Okay, this signifies that transformation has taken place. Now, if you simply double click on this, this is what you get to see. You see, this is your data source. Yeah, these are the fields, and this is your DSO, and see how the mapping has happened. So the persistent document number is mapped to the relevant object. Are you guys able to understand?
Adrian, I have a question here.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. So when you are saying about this transform, yeah. So when you are saying about this transformation, is just a mapping, or it's something apart from mapping? Also, do any data transformation is actually happening? Like data is getting transformed, like some conversions are happening in the transformation.
Yeah, absolutely. There will be some sort of conversion happening, because the data which is coming from an external source has to be converted into an internal source. Internal source means data should be understood by the BW system. So there is a default program which runs in the back end of the BW system. So the conversion is something that happens automatically. Okay. For example, the date feature. Okay. Usually we are used to write the date in this format, 01/01/2016. Yeah. So date, month, and year. But if you want the date to be added into BW system, there is a specific format that you need to keep in mind. Format is YYYYMMDD. So you cannot have a date of this format and load it into this. So you'll have to have the data in this format, 2016/01/01. So now what happens is, though the requirement is for you to load data from based on this format, the moment the records enter into the BW system and you display the data, you will see the data in this format. Okay, so what happens is, the system automatically converts the YYYMMDD to DDMMYYYY. Are you following?
Yeah.
And there are many things. Yeah, see, you can do formulas on this. During transformation, you can do formulas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can write programs if you are aware of ABAP. Okay, there are other things. So we are going to discuss about them in the future class, provided you join. So this is again one of the most important things and a very fun thing to do. So only once you map the data source with the data target, that the records then start flowing, okay, from the source to the target. All right, are you following so far? Right.
Yes.
Now, yes, John, do you have any question?
Adrian, I'm okay. I'm okay.
All right, great. So now, if you want to see if the records have entered or not, you can simply right click on the target and go for manage. See, everything about SAP BW is GUI. It's user friendly. You don't really have to be a technically savvy guy to learn this system. A person who has data warehousing knowledge, it's a plus point for him. Who does not have, it's also a good thing for him or her. Okay, you don't really have to need to have a specific set of qualification to do BW. Okay, you don't really have to be a computer engineer for that. Any person who likes to be part of a decision-making team, who likes playing with data, okay, who likes to see reports in different format, for them BW is a good thing. All right, they will really enjoy this. And you don't really have to know a program to run this. Everything that you see here, it is GUI. Everything is GUI. Yeah. Now you see here the records have entered, and we have around 33,700 records. Yeah. So we have 33,700 records. So now let's move to the query designer. See, you have a folder called as Business Explorer. In there, you have several tools, but we are not using Report Designer and Web Application Designer. They're no more in use. So we're going to use Query Designer and Analyzer. So when you click on Query Designer, a separate tool will appear. Hi Sagar, are you able to hear me? Okay, so this is the login button that you see.
Adrian?
Okay, so this is the log on button that you see. Select the BI system because we're going to run reports on BI. Click OK. It will ask you for the credentials. Enter your credentials. Click OK. Now the tool will open up shortly. Okay, Business Explorer, Query Designer.
Okay.
Now, this is your Query Designer tool. Yeah? What? So now, what we're going to do is, I'll open an existing. John, are you trying to say something? Hello, John, are you trying to say something? Okay. Well, we'll keep it on hold and we'll ask your questions later, yeah? So now we have some um, queries here, which we have designed already beforehand. And let me just open one up for you. So this is what I mean when you talk about queries, okay? Okay. Let me open a simpler one.
Adrian, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, John, tell me.
Adrian, if I'm not wrong, I'm not able to identify the letters on the screen. It's blurry and pixelated. Is the same thing with the other guys? We couldn't identify the letters.
Okay, so Vipin can see yellow park. Okay, maybe John, there is something, you know, something to do with the internet. Should probably check your internet connection. Yeah, okay. So what we do in the query designer is we pull out the particular target, okay? We pull out the particular target, and as per the client's requirement, we drag and drop the info objects to the respective panes, okay? And over here, you can do many things. You can create formulas. See, you can create formulas over here. Everything is drag and drop. No problem at all. Cost per product divided by quantity sold. Oh, so multiplied by quantity sold. Give a technical name. And so we create formulas. And then you save it. If you want to access these queries on analyzer just to test the report, okay, you can simply click on analyzer. So analyzer is basically an Excel file. Analyzer. Okay, so that's taking, okay, there we have, it's opening up. Right. Now here you have option called as add-ins. So this is a special Excel file with an add-in of business analyzer, okay? And then you need to connect with the BI system. The same process. And then you open the query of what we designed using query designer. And this is how you get to see the data. Let me just expand it for you. Okay, so what you see here, okay, this is a output of your queries. So this is the query that we designed here: Pune, Chennai, Bangalore, product ID, and the key figures here. And you get to see the output of the query over here. Okay, you can also see the chart option over here. You click on chart, you can change chart type. You can go to any. Yeah, I mean, we can do a lot more than what I'm actually trying to show you. There are many more options in your analyzer, as in you can use drop down boxes to select multiple fields. You can use exceptions to highlight critical values of your business. You can use conditions to restrict the particular data to a specific key or a specific number. So many things that you can do using analyzer. It only helps the business to make better decisions. So Query Designer allows you to run queries, simple to complex. Analyzer allows you to test the data and publish reports. Okay. So what we saw all in all, that you have BW system here, over here, let's say. So BW, what do? You store data in data targets, right? And then you run reports on top of that. How do you run reports? We run reports using tools like Query Designer under Business Explorer. Okay. So before you finalize on the data target, you will work as a developer to create objects, to create ETL process, to create process chains, to create queries, etc., etc. Okay. So BW can extract data from any source system. Okay. Flat file, ECC, HANA, etc., etc. So what you will learn in BW, apart from whatever I've shown you on the screen, you're going to learn about two functional modules, that is SD and MM. I'm going to teach you about different database tables. Okay, I'm going to teach you about how to create tables in ECC. Okay, that's something which we're going to do extensively. I'm going to explain you about the business process of SD and MM. How does business happens over here, and how is each business recorded into your ECC system? And then eventually, how do we replicate this table from ECC to BW? All right. So, as a BW consultant, you'll be responsible of two things. First, either you'll be working as a developer, where you start designing everything, or you'll be working as a support consultant, where you provide support to an ongoing project. Is everyone clear so far? Does anyone have any doubts?
Yeah.
Yes, Sagar, finally I can hear you. Tell me.
Yeah, Adrian. Yeah, hi, this is Sagar.
Yes, Sagar.
Yeah, actually, my doubt is like you told we can replicate the tables in BW. So there are many
Yeah.
ways to replicate the tables in BW. So have you you will teach me how to replicate the table with the help of coding? How you can extract the table with the help of coding, like ABAP coding. So this will be helpful.
See, I'm not an ABAP consultant,
Okay.
and we don't extract data from. If you have to replicate data from ECC, you don't require programming for that. There is a simple T code. That is called as RSDS.
No, that
So
is
if you just run this
fine.
T code, if you input the data source, if you okay, I don't know about you. I mean, you have some experience with BW, is it?
Yeah, I have experience. I'm currently working SAP BW. That's why I'm asking you. Because we are using some function modules also for the SAP BW. So that's why I'm asking you, like, for the
I mean,
function
you
module.
worked on SAP. Are you from SAP background?
Yeah, I'm from SAP background.
I'm sorry, I'm losing your voice, Sagar.
Yeah, that's why there is a problem with my speaker. The voice is very coming late, so that's why I couldn't hear you also, and I think the voice is going late also. So might be you are also listening late while my voice. So, oh, what I can do, I don't know. So can you
Can you
hear
type
me?
in your question so that I'll understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah, you can hear me, na? So my question is like with the help of function module, we are extracting some tables from the ECC. So we are like
Mm-hmm.
So with the help of function module, so for that we should know the ABAP coding. Or sometime what we used to do, actually I'm working in the support project. So sometime what we used to do, we used to find the tables in the function module. So it's very difficult to find the tables. So that's why I'm facing some issue in the tables also. How to find the tables, where we are, from which table we are extracting the data source. So that's why I want to know some basics of ABAP also. So you will like teach me in this SAP BW module how to do the
Um,
activity with the help of
actually,
ABAP module.
yeah, about that. See, you just can't learn ABAP basically, you know, without having any knowledge on ABAP.
No, I have
So
knowledge. I have
even
knowledge of ABAP. That's why.
I can show you how to
Okay.
replicate data tables from R3 to ECC. Again, I'll try to emphasize on the part that you don't require program for that. You don't. There is no need of writing a BAP program to replicate a table from ECC to R3. There is a T code for that. You require a BAP program to create a table, a functional module. Okay, but
Yeah.
after you use the functional module, you end up creating a table, and that table is what we replicate using the T code RSDS. So that is what it is. Yeah, you don't require a BAP program to replicate things. It's pretty easy. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I
It's
can give you an overview of a functional module, but not in depth, because in depth means you'll have to have
so. What
ABAP
is
knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, I have little bit of basic knowledge of a web. Just want to know like what are the codings used, what are the terminologies used in the SAP BW in ABAP, like what are the term and uh, terminologies we are using in this SAP BW. Like one module is there, na SAP BW in ABAP, so just want to know about that module also.
Yeah, that's a different module altogether. So that's not my area of expertise.
Okay,
I can
so
help you out with the documents that will allow you to understand, but then that's a different module. BI on ABAP is a different module altogether. You need to understand first ABAP related to BI, then you learn about routines, and then you learn
yeah,
about BW function related task. So what we are
okay,
doing here, what I teach is basically more into BW, okay, the GUI part, and I teach everything from the analyzer to the extraction, not only SD and MM, but also HR related and FICO related. And I'll show a little bit of ABAP thing, but not in detail, because not everyone understands ABAP unless you have some basic knowledge.
yeah, that is
So
fine.
if you
So yeah. Okay. Sorry for that. Yeah. So BW SAP BW comes with the new version like SAP BW on HANA. So you will be going to cover the SAP BW on HANA also in this.
Yeah, if you're joined for SAP BW on HANA, then yes. If you're joined just for BW, then uh, HANA part will not be covered in that.
So you will interact with the HANA tool also in this video, in this session,
Yeah, of course, of course, of course.
because the
So I'm
BW.
just finishing up with the BW part.
Okay. So first you will cover all the BW basics things, and after that you will have a separate session. We will have like SAP BW on HANA.
Yeah. See how it works is your
Okay.
BW, current BW that you're working is on non-SAP database system.
Yeah, Oracle.
We have
I'm
BW
using.
running on SQL or Oracle. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this architecture that we see here, this runs on a hard disk. Okay, I'm talking
Yeah.
from a very layman point of view, and
Yeah.
for the sake of everyone. So the data is stored in a hard disk, which is then powered by RAM. So what you see here, the records, whatever you generate or whatever you extract in BW and you store it, it's stored in a table based on either of these database tables, right? And the records are stored eventually on a hard disk. Okay, so whenever you want to read the data from the hard disk is pushed to RAM. The data from the hard disk is pushed to RAM. So this occupies, say, about 90% of the time when the data is being
Yeah.
pushed from a hard disk to the RAM.
Yeah.
Once the
SAP
data
data
reaches to the RAM, it takes hardly. I'll just
10%.
finish. Yeah, Sagar, please hang on.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it takes hardly 10% of the time. Okay. So what SAP realized that if RAM can do the job so fast, why not store the data in RAM itself? But this did not come to them directly. So before they could introduce in-memory processing, they introduced something called as BWA, Business Warehouse Accelerator. So this was an additional piece of hardware which was powered by state-of-the-art processors and RAM. So they have an option. They gave us an option of storing the objects directly in the BWA system. They gave us an option of storing the data directly in the BWA system. So BWA, you can say it's a massive RAM, yeah? It's a massive RAM. And eventually, the task that would take 90% would be done in 10% of the time. Actually taken. However, the drawback of BWA was only a particular object can be or could be stored in BWA memory, and that was your info queue. So what would happen to other objects like info object, data store objects? We have so many other objects. So all those objects were not having the capability of storing its record into BWA. So this also backfired SAP. However, the good thing that came out of BW is SAP realized why not have our own database? Why not have our own database? So SAP came up with HANA, okay? HANA as a database system. Now BW, or let's say regular SAP, BW or ECC or any other modules, okay? They all run on a platform called as SAP NetWeaver, okay? SAP NetWeaver platform. SAP HANA runs on SAP HANA Studio. Okay, this is more like a Java Eclipse tool. Okay, if anyone has working experience in Java and they have worked on Eclipse tool, they will understand the HANA Studio because it looks pretty similar to that. All right, and what SAP HANA Studio can do is it can act as a database, it can act as an analytical tool, and and it can act as a reporting tool. All right. So this was the complete idea of what SAP wanted to do. So what they decided is, let us help the ongoing BW clients by reducing the time taken for data processing. So they thought, why not have SAP BW run directly on SAP HANA database system? Why not have SAP BW run directly on SAP HANA database system? So what makes SAP HANA database system so unique? What makes SAP HANA database system so unique? What makes is HANA database system has a technology called as in-memory technology. That means it stores the data in a RAM. Okay. Of course, it does have hard disk. Hard disk, or also known as flash drives or SSD, they are used to store backup data. Okay, just in case the worst case scenario, something goes down, RAM fails, so the records will be safe and sound in the SSD or the hard disk. So what happens here is, when you have data coming in from the presentation layer, okay, the data then enters into the database layer. Okay, the data is written into the database layer, and this database layer is HANA database. Okay, HANA database stores the data in the RAM, in memory. So what happens? There is no interference of hard disk. So data is actually directly stored in a RAM, and then the data is read from the RAM. So this has given, or this has increased the performance of the SAP system over 90%. Okay, of the time taken by the 90% of the time taken by the traditional database systems like SQL or Oracle. Okay, there are many things in order for us to understand how does it happen. It all brings down to the RDBMS structure, but we will not discuss as of now because this will take us off the topic. So what SAP decided is, let us have SAP BW directly run on SAP HANA database system. Okay, so the way SAP HANA database system is configured is different than what we are used to see in the traditional database system. So now what we learn here is, first I normally teach people BW on SQL or Oracle, whatever system we have. Okay, so once we understand how BW runs on SQL or Oracle, then we will eventually learn about HANA Studio. Okay, so we learn about the interface of HANA Studio. Then we'll start working on HANA database system, wherein we learn about how to create tables in HANA, how to use SQL script in HANA, okay, and load data using SQL script, how to create views. Okay, apart from that, we'll also see about authorization, little bit about admin part, authorization issues if we have. Okay, then we will learn BW on HANA. So what do we learn in BW HANA? We learn new objects. Okay, new objects like HANA optimized DSO, HANA optimized info cube. Okay, you're going to learn about virtual provider for HANA. We're going to learn about advanced DSO, composite provider, transient provider, and open ODS view. Okay, we are also going to learn on how to about mixed modeling. So how to migrate HANA view to BW, or how to use HANA views for BEX reporting. Okay, you're going to learn about how to use HANA view for BEX reporting, how to migrate BW objects as HANA views in HANA database system. So this is what we'll be learning all in all on BW on HANA. Okay, so whatever we have been doing, what we will be doing on BW and SQL, okay, that will be absolutely same even on BW and HANA. So whatever is different is what I have listed on over here. The rest, whatever we learn, like creating info object, creating DSO, everything remains the same. The only difference is what is this HANA optimized DSO and HANA optimized queue. So this DSO and this info queue is slightly different from BW or DSO that is running on SQL. Okay, how do you know we are running on which system? If you log on into SAP, go to the systems option, go to the status. You see the database system is MySQL. Yeah. Now so I'm trying to log on into HANA, BW powered by HANA. That's taking a lot of time. Oh, fine. So correct. Good. Okay. Probably forgot the username. Hang on here, 1 second. Okay, I'm not able to access the server. Hang on. See what's wrong. So I have two IP addresses here. Which one of them? All right, Pipin, I'm almost done. Yeah, thank you. I mean, you can ask for the recording of the remaining topics from Mr. Sayed. You can
So,
look into it. Okay. It's taking
Thank
time,
you.
but just like, yeah, thank you, Bipin. Just like you see MS SQL over here, here you will see HDB on a database system. Yeah. So that will tell us about the difference in that. Well, I just wanted to show you HANA Studio and all. Unfortunately, not able to connect. Yeah. So see, so we have SAP logo on here. You double click on it. Double click on PW. Enter. If you look at status here, see, this is running on HDB. Okay, that is your HANA database system. All right. Now, the same keyboard works here. That is RSA1. It's everything is same. The interface, everything is same. Okay. When you right click, get to see almost the same objects, except that you get to see ODS and you can create other objects as well. Okay, everything is the same. See, this is your HANA system and this is your BW1 SQL. Yeah. So object-wise, creation-wise, BW on SQL or BW on HANA is absolutely same, but there is a difference when it comes to the tabular structure, which we will discuss when we start the session. Now, let me show you HANA Studio. So click on HANA Studio. Right. I'll close all of these now. So usually you'll be greeted with a welcome screen. Okay. So if anyone is working as a HANA admin consultant, will be using this console. If you're working as a SAP HANA consultant or a BW on HANA consultant, you'll be working on this console. If you're into development using SQL, Java, or ABAP, you'll be working on development. If you're into upgradation, okay, enhancement of some server packs or something, you'll go for open lifecycle management. Okay. Now, as a BW or HANA consultant, you will be entering into HANA modular. Yeah. So this is your HANA database system. So I'm going to show you how to configure as well later on at system. Okay. You need to log on into the HANA database system. All right. So you see a couple of folders here. See catalogs, see provisioning, content, security. Okay. So these are things that we will focus later on. So under the catalog, what you see here is a schema. When you right click or when you drill down the schema, schema is again like an info area in your BW system. You see, you have tables. You can create table over here. Yeah, these are all the different database tables that we'll be learning how to create. Okay, this is about your tables. Then you have content over here. You create HANA views. You see, there are several views. So we are focused with attribute, analytical, and calculation view. The rest of the topics are for HANA consultants only. Okay, for as a BW consultant, we'll be responsible of first 3 views. Okay, then comes the BW modeling part. Click on the BW modeling on the top right corner, or you can click on perspective and choose BW modeling. Okay, so now you see there are 2 things. This is your Eclipse tool where you get to see or where you can create your own objects, BW objects right over here. See, this interface is different than what we get to see in NetWeaver platform. Okay, now if you go to favorites, let's say you have this info area called as info area for customer PC. Yeah, so we'll go to HANA Studio. We'll go to favorites, backend favorites. Okay, you see info area for customer PC. Whatever objects that you create over here, info cubes for say sales data one, for example, those objects will be visible over here as well. Okay, but it will be categorized. Okay, you see sales info cube for sales data one. So whatever objects you create here will also be visible over here. Whatever objects that you create here, okay, see advanced DSO, composite provider, open ODS. So whatever objects you create in the Eclipse tool will be available over here. All right, and then you can also have access to the SAP GUI right over here. You see, within the HANA Studio itself, I'm utilizing the space. I'm going to enter the T code RSA1. Perfect. Now if you go to favorites, see you can see many different objects. The same thing, yeah? Same thing. So we're going to learn a great deal of things. We're going to learn 2 systems, BW on SQL, BW on HANA. We're going to learn about HANA modeling, HANA views, and BW on HANA as well. Does anyone have any questions? Hemant, Yallappa?
Hi, Adrian.
Yes, Hemant. Have you followed the demo?
Yeah, I can able to follow, but little bit confused with the workbench and inside the info provider. What are the options you are using? I am very new to this, so it is very not that much difficult, but while you are using the options, so I am unable to follow that.
Yeah.
So if it is yeah, I am very new, no, so now it is very difficult. So further I will follow, no issues.
Yeah, yeah. And this is just an overview. See, in your info provider, you get to see all the objects which is filled with data. Okay. Like for example, these are all targets, data targets. Okay. Each of these targets, they are different from each other because each of them have their own, set of features that they support. For example, this is your info object. Okay, info object basically stores master data. Master data means data that does not change. Then you have DSO. Okay, the circular cylindrical kind of thing is DSO. So DSO stores transaction data, data that changes frequently. And then you have InfoCube. InfoCube is a multi-dimensional table. That means it has more than one table. So I'm going to discuss everything in detail. Yeah. So you don't have to worry like, and I don't expect you to understand everything, but as we move on forward, we'll be learning about the source system. Okay. About, see, for example, the flat file source system I was telling you. Okay. And then about data source. Okay. Then about ETL, that is extraction, transformation, and loading. Okay. Then about uh, creation of data targets over here. We're going to learn everything listed out over here. And then we're going to work on the query designer analyzer. So these things are important because they are data warehousing objects. These are the targets where you'll be storing the data, and each target has a different purpose. Purpose in the sense reporting needs. Okay, so some targets are purely used just to store backup data. They're not going to be used for reporting. Some targets are used specifically for reporting. So why we want that kind of data? What is so unique about the data? So that's something that we learn as we progress. Okay, in a demo session, I cannot talk about those things because, as you said, you are new to this topic. So it probably might demoralize you if you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, what a person should understand about BW, or what I eventually try make them understand is BW is a data warehousing tool. It's an analytical tool. It's a reporting tool that allows businesses to take critical decisions. Okay, a BW allows you to interpret business data in a more user-friendly way that any layman can understand. It helps the business to optimize its processes and access the most important and the most relevant data pertaining to their business or the criticality of the business. And there are so many tools in the BW system that allow you to integrate with other SAP modules. Okay, and there are things that you can do without having to depend on programs. You don't really have to depend on a BAP program. So anyone who has to do with a BAP program must know about ABAP. So that's a different concept altogether. So I teach you an alternative way of how to not to depend on program and how to do things more efficiently. All right. So these things we'll definitely be covering.
Yes, Adrian.
Okay. Any further doubts? Something that you did not understand apart from the info provider and info objects?
So here we can here we can teach each and everything for cubes, objects.
Yes, I'm going to teach each and everything.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yellappa, how about you? Did you follow my demo? Is there any questions, doubts? All right. So, in case if you have any doubt, you all can, people who have come through Sayed can contact Sayed, and Yellappa, you can get in touch with me. If you have any queries, we can talk it over the phone, and you know, let me know if you have anything that you need to be that needs to be clarified. All right, Yellappa,
Yes.
yeah, Hemant.
Yes, Adrian.
All right, it was lovely talking to you guys. You have a wonderful um, evening. And recordings will be shared, okay, for Hemant and all, Yellappa. Every students will be shared with recordings of daily regular classes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. You guys have a lovely weekend. Hope to see you guys around. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.